Well, first of all, thank you all very much for coming along this evening. Of course, we are all here for Lee Rotherham's book launch of the Discerning Gentleman's Guidebook to His Majesty's North American Colonies. I think that's the full title. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rupert Matthews. I'm the editorial director at Brett Wilder Books. The gentleman on the camera is Adrian Thompson, our financial director, and Sue, who is our sales director, will be taking your money in a moment when you all come up to get your signed copy of the book. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to say, other than say that we are immensely pleased and privileged to be publishing Lee's book. I can see some of our other authors here this evening. Gerard Batting, of course. Brian Binley is lurking at the back near the chips, I think. And one or two others. And also, I must thank Leanne Goodall, who's also lurking at the back, who is our artist and designer for this book. So thanks to her for doing the artwork.
I'll keep this mercifully short, because there's beer, there's a beer around. I'll start by saying, I'm reiterating two thank yous. Firstly, to you all for coming here. Somebody's been saying what a great bunch of people you are. You're all intermingling and chatting to each other in a very friendly way. There's no fist fighting and things like that going on, which apparently is seemingly unusual in the publishing world.
But they are really lovely.
But Brian, when we do our book launch, we'll make sure that's not the case, okay? It's a political one. I'd also like to say a big thank you to the publishers and to the illustrator. You've been a fantastic team, and you did us proud on this. Why are we here today? Well, there's the book, but I'll tell you a little about the book in a second. But fundamentally, what we're about today is about a coincidence of time and space. Let me explain. Because we're in the period, the bicentenary of a very significant period in North American history. Because it's a crunch period, an event happened which was almost celebrated by the British Embassy in Washington DC before they chickened out. And that was after a successful battle just outside of the city. British forces became the only foreign power ever to occupy Washington DC. However, let's not be biased about this. We're also coming up to the bicentenary of another great event in American cultural history, which is a certain failed siege of a certain town, city, which was later to inspire The Wire. So history could have been changed if events had happened a little bit differently. But the siege of Baltimore, which was a defeat for the Royal Navy, meant that with all the fantastic fireworks that were taking place over the town and all the explosions, inspired the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner, giving the Americans their national anthem. So it's a double celebration in time, a bicentenary of true significance, and that's why we're here right now, this evening. Now, space. Those of you who know London well may well be familiar with a number of these features. Those of you who aren't may not. But right now we're in a sense in the epicenter of North American history, as it would have been 250 years ago. And the vestiges of those are still around us today. We have a few yards away the statue of George III, the monarch who lost the American colonies. We have another statue on Trafalgar Square of Colonel, or as he was known to the British, Mr. George Washington, the commander of the American forces. You have the Délégation Générale du Québec, the provincial office just down the road. You have the High Commission of Canada building, just opposite. You have the Tate Gallery, which has got a number of celebrated paintings associated with North America, including the famous display of the death of Pitt the Elder, or his demise as he was collapsing in the House of Lords. And you have also, obviously, down the road there, the Parliament buildings themselves and Whitehall, where many of the great parliamentary debates and decisions were made. So we're in the epicentre of both time and space for colonial North America. And many of those links have survived and endure today. And they endure and survive because of people. And this is where I want to basically draw this to a conclusion, because the links between the peoples of North America, be they Canadian, French Canadian, or United States citizens, and the peoples of Britain, or people of Britain, depending on how the referendum goes in a couple of days' time, those still endure today, and they largely endure because of individuals. So I'd like you all to raise a glass, if you may, and let's toast those individuals on both sides of the Atlantic who keep that spirit of unity alive today. And buy the book.
So that's the five-star.
You'll appreciate 2 years' time. What's it say? Look, don't be tired.